Okay, day one of the My Little Pony Mega Marathon. It's done and complete. So, here's something for you. Today, they started airing the first 20 episodes of the first season of MLP. And these episodes, I haven't watched since I first started the series. It's like, the first time I've ever done this is like a real long time ago. Like sophomore year after I watched Saber Sparks' Ballad of the Brony. Anyways, with that said, I'll talk a little bit about the first 20 episodes. Ratings I'll show them to you at the end of the vlog. Also a notification for you. I'm probably not gonna watch season 4 because, well, I can remember the episodes off the top of my head. Plus, probably mostly, I'm just going to be rewatching a couple of them until G3, and they'll be up, and those G3 episodes will be uploaded individually as separate vlogs and not like a whole thing. Anyways, season 1 started with the premieres episodes, Friendship is Magic Part 1 and 2, otherwise known in production as Mare and the Moon and the Elements of Harmony. The series begins with Twilight Sparkle as, of course, she's just an obvious wannabe teacher's pet. Later, she finds out that Celestia had sent her down to Ponyville, this time being around for the Summer Sun celebration, while also Princess Celestia tells her that she's got to make some friends. Get out of those books and make some. Which, of course, she meets, obviously, some of the characters that we're going to be seeing later on in the show as the characters wind up meeting each other. And the first part ends with Nightmare Moon literally returning, and, of course, where part 2 begins is that the main six go into the Everfree Forest to try to find the Elements of Harmony. Which, of course, we all know how Nightmare Moon is defeated. Curse the rainbow, mother! Like that. The rating for this, since it's a two-parter, gets the exact same rating. So, first parter, while looking back at it and thinking for the first time that this was one of the episodes I first watched, when I became interested in this, how production worthy this fandom is. It's really a great episode. A 10 out of 10, I tell you. Next one is the Ticket Matcher, which is the one episode Grand Galloping, which is one of the few episodes of the Grand Galloping Gala arc. Sort of much like season 4 and the keys to the Chest of Harmony that the tree spat out. But next episode is Applebuck Season, and then which, in Applebuck Season, Applejack's trying to, like literally trying to buck all the trees out of Equestria, and literally she's not paying attention to anything, becoming sleep-deprived, starting to go insane, until she finally snaps at the end and asks her friends for help. Griffin the Brush Shop. The more I think about it, it's a really great episode. For many reasons. One, it's a great episode about how Pinkie Pie and sort of just how they meet each other. Just introducing characters that aren't like the regular Pegasus, Unicorns, or Pegasus, Unicorn, and Earth ponies. I get that mind messed up for a moment there. But they actually introduce Griffins into the series. Which, meeting in Maraiki Henderson's character, who played Revy in Black Lagoon, which luckily I met at Everfree Northwest, is the person who plays Golda. Personally, it would be amazing just seeing what it'd be like if literally both Golda and Revy met each other. They probably have some really strong attitudes against each other. Ghostbusters. And of course, the famous magician everyone says is like the best, or that makes a great comeback in Season 3. Which, Season 3 won't air until Wednesday. The more that I think about the episode, yeah, there are a couple of problems. I mean, I get it. Some of these episodes are supposed to be slice-of-life stories, but sometimes the characters can act like idiots. The rating I gave it was sort of near a 5, but I gave it a 6 for Ghostbusters, because, I mean, I don't know if you heard of this guy before. He calls himself the Brony Nutcase, and like, before I decided to, like, months and months before I decided to actually give in to rewatching the episode, I actually saw his review of that episode, and particularly, there are a bunch of flaws with the episode. I don't recommend that you go see it. It's just, you know, second thought, because first I liked it, now I somewhat like it and somewhat hate it. Next episode, Dragon Shy. Let me tell you, favorite Fluttershy episode, probably one of my favorite Fluttershy episodes, because basically what happens is, I mean, the more I think about it, it's like sort of the funny pop cultural references, a lot of the jokes I could think of for, like, a few jokes I could think for the episode, they're all in there. Especially when Rainbow Dash kicks the dragon, the next thing you know, Stunleaf screams at Rainbow Dash, and literally this causes her to be thrown at the other three, because Fluttershy's hiding, just taking this line commando that Arnold Schwarzenegger says in the movie, just add it to the dragon. I thought of that joke for a long, long time. Believe it or not. That episode, an 8 out of 10. Next episode, Look Before You Sleep. Applejack and Rarity basically have to stay in Twilight's house for an entire night because of the storm and the fact that they don't want to be hit by branches. Which obviously leads to one of my favorite Applejack lines from the movie. Can't eat, I'm asleep. I just love the line so much. But there are a couple of things. There are moments I can and can't stand in the episode. Little Gossip, the first appearance of Mistress Zecora. Now let me tell you, I love Mistress Zecora. Heck, I even have like a tiny little print of Zecora. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Hold on here. Right up there, right next to my calendar, Mistress Zecora. Which obviously leads to a really good denotive song. Song called Mistress Zecora. Oops. There we go. Oops. Notes. But of course, some of the the lesson is don't judge a book by the way it looks, and I like that lesson a little. I like that lesson. So, 7 out of 10 for Widow Blossom. Swarm of the Century, the one that mainly appears on Paris Fights, the one where Pinkie Pie basically, with the rest of the six, ignore Pinkie Pie as she's trying to gather instruments to try to get rid of those Paris Fights. Yeah, there are some moments that are really funny. It's another one of those I'm sort of mixed, which is another Ghostbusters rating of 6 out of 10. Winter Wrap-Up, another episode, and this time around, it has a 10 out of 10. Not only is the song catchy as ever, but for one thing, it's an episode you just can't watch until, like, the near end of spring break. Well, actually, not spring break, the day before the first day of spring. It's really that good of an episode. Call the Cutie, the first episode to ever mainly focus on the... Actually, you can't see them. The Cutie Mark Crusader starts off with Apple Bloom, and she's trying to get her Cutie Mark. In the end, she winds up meeting Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo, And from that point, they literally become the Cutie Crusaders. I'm not really biased against the introduction of Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo. I mean, I've seen Apple Bloom a lot before, and even in a continuity thing in the episode, the free Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo, they're both hugging each other in, I think, the end of the first part. Maybe it was the beginning of the second part of the first 2 episodes, but still, it's sort of like continuity. I mean, maybe my theory is that they never met each other and they were just little kids, so they got hugged to each other, so they decided just to hug to each other. But of course, you gotta think about it, it's a real long, it was originally a story arc until Hasbro just wanted a 2-parter, and that's it. Next one, Fall Weather Friends. With Applejack and Rainbow Dash having themselves an Iron Pony competition. And that episode particularly is filled with a lot of memorable moments that I could remember from the anthology videos. But not really way too much that I could remember. After seeing the episode again, I could recognize a lot of the jokes, like in the background when, like, the apples are falling on Rainbow Dash. Suddenly, the next thing you know, you're literally hearing the shave and a haircut bit in the, when the apples drop on her. Next is Suited for Success, the episode that was specifically made for those that want to go in dress designs, in clothing designs. Particularly, this is one of the few episodes that has near gotten a 10. I mean, right now it has a 9 from when I saw it. And what it is another one of those gala episodes where Rarity has to, how should I put it? It's a Rarity episode where she's making dress for the Grand Galloping Gala, and her friends basically want their looks into it, but they just don't see it through Rarity's eyes. And that's all you should know. I don't want to give anything away. Who am I kidding? You all know these episodes. Feeling Pinky Keen, near 10, 8 out of 10. And it's basically Pinky's ability to predict, like, a few seconds, a minute or a few seconds into the future with her body, tail, mane, everything, literally mumbling, predicting near futures. Twilight obviously can't state the obvious and everything, so she's stubborn about that. Sonic Rainbow, 7 out of 10. So basically, Rainbow Dash is trying to compete in a race, and what happens is that Rarity winds up. Rainbow Dash is going to the junior flight contest to win the competition with her impossible Sonic Rainbow powers, which we will find out how she did it in Cutie Chronicles tomorrow. But what happens is that Twilight decides to give Rarity these butterfly-looking rings, and the next thing you know, wings, and it causes Rainbow Dash to be, you know, sort of a little bit scared about, a little bit nervous about if she's willing to enter the competition or not, even win the thing. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in it. Next we have 2 Cutie Crusaders episodes, Stairmaster and Showstoppers. First, Stairmaster. This one's about Fluttershy basically trying to take care of the Cutie Crusaders while Rarity's trying to run some clothes through to get the to a client. What happens next is one of her chickens that was in her coop ran away, and the next thing you know, the Cutie Crusaders try to go after it and wind up meeting this basically weird Medusa-like creature, except without the snakes on his head, called the Cockatrice. I really can't remember these names because I'm trying to read this thing so fast and I'll waste your time. Anyways, 8 out of 10 for Stairmaster. Showstoppers, that's what the Cutie Crusaders feel. Honestly, I can remember that song nearly off the top of my head. Heck, when that song came on, I could sing along to it. I mean, winter wrap-up, near easy to remember the track. You just gotta get the episodes running through your head, that's all. And, of course, I remember particularly Showstoppers being one of the episodes where literally one of the scores that the fans were praising was the little montage music while the Cutie Crusaders were going and crusading, known as Cutie Crusaders go crusading. And particularly, I think the composer, if I remember this right, was just so upset that they only liked this, that some of the fans only liked this one theme song and didn't take into consideration some of these other scores, like the epic score from the two-parter episode. Which, I like the score. It's really great, well composed. Heck, I like the one from Return of Harmony Part 2, but I ain't talking about that episode till tomorrow. Anyway, 7 out of 10 for that. I mean, I sort of somewhat have to agree with the composer on that, but somewhat I'm with, I don't know, I'm both with the fans and I'm both with the composer. Dog and Pony Show, episode 19. A near 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 that is. Rarity and Spike are going to try to dig for some gems for another one of Rarity's clients, this time around a famous celebrity, Sapphire Shores. But she's been kidnapped by the Diamond Dogs that live underground and are trying to search for gems. What it leads to is a bunch of hilarious moments that sometimes think back then to when you didn't declare yourself a fan of this show, you thought it was most regrettable, that it was pretty annoying, but as of today, I find it hilarious. It's really great, even the little like imagination Spike has of the romance, like him acting like a knight, that's really funny in a way that I can understand. Last but not least for today, Green Isn't Your Color, another 10 out of 10 episode, featuring, of course, my favorite, Fluttershy. And this one is mainly focused on another rarity, but except this time around, instead of Spike and the rest of the main six, well, this one's basically Rarity. Sorry, I had something. Rarity, Fluttershy, Twilight, Spike, and the German photographer that we always know, Photo Finish. And in that one, she basically, Photo Finish takes Fluttershy in, and suddenly the next thing you know, she starts becoming this super A-list fashion celebrity for Photo Finish. The next thing you know, suddenly Rarity starts becoming jealous of this, and it's so many next thing you knows in this episode that sometimes you could do. So, one of the highlights of the episode that I somewhat can get is this weird subplot where Twilight has to keep the secrets of all of the secrets that both Rarity and Fluttershy have been telling each other, and of course the secret Spike has. Which, of course, it leads up to a very hilarious ending, which I won't give away in this vlog here. But, overall, that's day one of the list of the first 20 episodes of Season 1. So can't wait to take a look at the last remaining 6 episodes of the first season, Then taking a look at the 14 episodes of Season 2, which I'm probably just going to be watching the 14th episode on DVD, because I'm not taking any chances of watching the hub version, because, you know, they added Derby out. Well, they more on dirt her and made her more of a dumb blonde. But that's just my own opinion. But I'm real excited for tomorrow's lineup, because I get to see an episode that particularly I haven't seen since I was first told about the show. You'll find out tomorrow. Plus, ratings for the first 20 episodes. Season 1 and episodes 1 and 2 count as 1, 10 out of 10. Number 3, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 for both 8 and 9 out of 10. Those both are 7. 6 out of 10 for episode 10. Winter Wrap-Up, 10 out of 10. Call of the Cutie, 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Fall Weather Friends, 8 out of 10. Suited for Success, 9 out of 10. Feeling Pinky Keen, 8 out of 10. Sonic Rainboom, 7 out of 10. Stale Master, 8 out of 10. Showstoppers, 7 out of 10. Dog and Pony Show, 9 out of 10. And Green Isn't Your Color, 10 out of 10. Kill. But anyways, on and on, I'm going to be here's something for you in advance. So, I'm thinking about maybe not taking a look at the rest of Season 4, since I could remember since I could remember a bunch of episodes off the top of my head, and besides that, I don't want to watch Daring Dome again. I don't know, I just really do not like that episode, because clearly Daring Dome is an episode that should have been. But, relax yourselves. I'll be there for talking about Rarity Takes Manhattan, since that particular episode I did the review way too fast and all that. As well as Friday do Twilight's Kingdom. But anyways, with that said, join me back tomorrow as I do more of these MLP vlogs, okay? See you guys later.